Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again. And I say it like that because I have done like 3 or 4 videos today. It's just been like non-stop video making and non-stop watching of things. And I gotta say, like, I am tired. I am done for the day. Like, watching these modern movies like all in a row, it is ugh, ugh. I just have a terrible feeling right now because because of subjecting myself through that. Uh, I was excited for this movie, Windfall, because that's the movie that I'm reviewing. It is a Netflix movie, and it stars Jason Siegel and Jesse Plemons and Lilly Collins, and there's another guy who plays a gardener. Other than that, that's it. And I gotta say, that was one of the things that I liked about the movie. It is the exact way that you make a low budget film is you get like a small cast and you just get this one location to play around in. And I love one location films too. You know, one location films, they can create a lot of fun because you have to create new interesting ways to play around with that location. uh, like, oh, let's go to that room. Oh, let's go to that room that we never went to earlier. Like, everything gets used. And so you really get to know the location well, and it actually makes the movie better because it's fun to just see this location that probably you'll never see in a while or ever, ever. This weird, I don't even know where it is, California, but like, I don't know. It's a very calm and peaceful place in this like orchard area type of place, and it's a rich guy's house. And basically the movie is about Jason Siegel breaking into his house, or just like kind of like walking in there and having fun, but then all of a sudden the couple comes home, Lily Collins and Jesse Plemons. And I gotta say, props for them doing that, because we all know that there are going to be certain reviewers who say things like, "Oh, how could that would never happen? Jesse Plemons would never get with Lily Collins." Like, you see that all the time with Adam Sandler movies, for instance. Like, you see people criticizing like putting him with like pretty supermodel type actresses. But so I was glad that they did that because I thought that they actually made a good couple in the movie, and I enjoyed. I really liked the acting in this movie. I loved Jesse Plemons. He was the star of the show. I mean, he completely stole the show. Like, he was so good, and he's so good in everything that he does. Like, Breaking Bad, obviously, Fargo season 2, I'm thinking of ending things. He's the star of that movie too, and he is really really good, and I really hope to see him in more things because I think that I'll probably like watch anything that he does at this point, because I know that at least that if I watch a movie with him, oh yeah, and the game one, Game Night, I think it was called, that's another great performance. So you know that with him, every movie that he's in, you're going to get a great performance. Lily Collins was pretty good too. As I said in my Ted Bundy movie review from a few years back, that's what I said. She is a smoked fillet of trout with nuts and butter sauce. And she's that in this movie as well. She's very consistent. And then you have Jason Siegel, and and he is good too. Okay, I was kind of doing a little suspense there, like but actually he was pretty good too. I liked his performance as well because he gave a layered performance. He had moments of levity and humor, like there's this one part where he's barricading a door, and it's just so funny because he's just like this clumsy, like he's almost like he doesn't even want to be a criminal. Like he's finding it so inconvenient to do this crap, but he takes some big things and he's like rolling them in front of this door, and he's like, and it's like it's just so hard for him to do, and it's funny. But then he has other moments where he's actually like dead serious, and you can really see that there's like some sort of pain behind his eyes, and you know he's an underrated actor too. So it was really good. This movie was basically a trio of underrated actors. Because if some another movie that I would recommend is the the end of the tour. Is that what it was called? The tour's end. There's this one movie he did where he played this guy, this real life guy who got interviewed by another guy, and then at the end he kills himself, and he did an amazing job in that movie, and he did an even better job in this movie. And so he's actually becoming a top tier actor as well. So I really hope that he gets more roles where he can show off his acting ability more. And I don't think that Lily Collins is going to have any trouble getting roles. If you guys are wondering why I didn't say anything, you know, obviously, I mean, she's consistent. She's consistently good. And to me, consistency is key. Okay? Consistency is key. And okay, and so that was going to get off track from the movie, but this movie, it started off meh, and it just kept being meh, but I actually started to really like it. It had this peaceful, meditative vibe to it, which was really weird, because this is yet again another thriller movie where it's not really a thriller at all, because it's so meditative and peaceful. Like there's all these moments of long silence where you hear these cricket sounds, and it's like, God, this is so peaceful. It's like it's like watching like one of those old people movies where old people sit around and talk about how old they are. Like it's just so peaceful. And so it kind of took the tension out of the movie. But I was still really enjoying it, and I was gonna say that like this, for 3/4 of this movie, it was a solid middle of the road movie. It's not a thriller, it's not a suspense movie, but it is a solid middle of the road movie that you can enjoy, you can relax, you can rent it, get a pizza, get some drinks of your choice, and watch the movie. But then, near the end, there were certain characters who made certain choices that were just so stupid. It was like a plot convenience that they were making these stupid choices. Like, in order to make more movie happen, we needed these dumbass choices. And then, at the end, there's a character who makes a choice that is so fucking stupid that it makes me want to throw up. Like the choices that this character made were just completely like out of the blue, stupid. Just completely ruined the whole movie. And so at the end of it, I'm actually more negative on the movie now because the ending just completely soured everything for me. Of just this, like, okay, this movie was pointless. Like, this movie was completely a waste of time. Shouldn't have watched this movie, I guess. I wanted to like it. I liked most of the movie, even though it was kind of uneventful. But then at the end, it was like, you know what, WTF? And that's just unfortunate. So, and that's another thing, is that this movie is so uneventful that I don't really have much else to say about it. You know what I mean? Like, I did like a couple of more things, though. I liked there were a lot of wide shots in this movie. A lot of wide shots, beautiful shots. It was shot well. It looked like an older movie. It didn't look really like a modern movie. So I liked that. And there were also a couple of little suspense things that happened throughout that I liked. A couple of little tricks here and there. But I would say in general that this movie was not really intense at all. Like it was like watching like a sad little balloon with hardly any air in it like float around the room. It was really not eventful. And I would say too, to the director of this movie and the writer, I would highly suggest that you go watch the movie The Perfect Host with David Hyde Pierce, because that in that movie you just have two main characters and even less happens than in this movie. Like hardly anything happens. It's just people talking. But it is such a fantastic film. I have seen The Perfect Host about 40 times. So I would highly recommend to watch that to see, how you could have made this movie better, because that movie had a lot of tension. It was very suspenseful. It was very creepy at some points. It was very weird. And that movie was really good. Like, that is an underrated movie. So I would rate this, as I said before, Lilly Collins is a fillet of rainbow trout fried with butter sauce and nuts. And obviously she doesn't have nuts, but the dish does. Jason Siegel is a bowl of nachos, like just the ultimate nachos with all the toppings, jalapeno, avocado, beans, beef, cheese, everything. And Jesse Plemons is a filet mignon. And in fact, Jesse Plemons in this movie, do you know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of Orson Welles. And I thought that was very weird, because throughout the movie, I kind of felt like, wow, this is weird. Like, he's like Orson Welles. Like, he is literally exactly like Orson Welles. And so I really think that if they make an Orson Welles movie, that they should cast Jesse Plemons to play him, because he was Orson Welles in this movie. And I know that's weird, but that's just what I thought. And he's a filet mignon. But this movie, unfortunately, this movie is on a diet, okay? It's so uneventful, it's on a diet. So, instead of the regular dishes that you would eat that I just said, that trio of awesomeness, instead of that, you get 3 of the same things, but they're TV dinner versions of them. So you're on a diet, you want to eat some sort of healthy choice versions of those 3 things. So you get like a little cheap steak, TV dinner. And then you get a little cheap nacho platter thing, TV dinner. And then you get a little fish fillet, frozen fish fillet, TV dinner. That's this movie. It is a TV dinner trio. And I would not recommend it unless you want to see the performances. I would recommend this movie just to watch for Jesse Plemons' performance, Jason Siegel, Lilly Collins. If you want to see those performances, watch this movie. But this movie will make you fall asleep. It wouldn't make me fall asleep, but I was waiting for something to happen. Now, spoiler alert. Movies like this are what you call slow burns. And it's for a reason. It's because the whole movie, you're waiting for something to happen, and at the end, it's supposed to all explode. Well, in this stupid movie, characters make really stupid decisions, and that's basically the only explosion. They get along really well. Jesse Plemons is like bargaining the whole movie because he thinks that he can just buy people and buy everything. And, he's so full of himself and evil, as Jason Siegel says. But near the end of the movie, he makes a really stupid attempt to escape by writing "Call 911" on this piece of paper that the gardener gave him to sign. And that was just the stupidest thing ever. But the thing is that it was necessary just to have more plot happen, so that what would happen happened. And then of course the gardener gets killed, and that's like, whatever. It was kind of dumb. I mean, he runs into a glass door. Oh. And then at the end of the movie, what really blew my mind was Lilly Collins. Lilly Collins had the money. The money was dropped off. Jason Siegel wanted $500,000. The money was dropped off in a duffel bag and in the driveway, and she went out to get it. And when she went out to get it, she was going to take one bundle and then leave and let her husband die and let the criminal get the money and get away. But instead, she chose to go back in the house, give him the money, get tied up again, and then use a piece of glass to cut herself loose, and then kill Jason Siegel, and then go back into the house and kill her husband, and then kind of wipe off the gun, but not fully wipe off the gun, and give it back to Jason Siegel. I mean, and then she leaves without any money. I mean, if that isn't retarded, I don't know what is. I mean, do I really have to explain why that's fucking retarded? I mean, because just listen to that. That is stupid. I mean, what a stupid, random, dumb ending. Completely ruined the movie for me. I'll never watch this again. I would have, if not for this stupid ending, which is sad because the whole movie is like, it's an enjoyable, nice little experience, but it is all ruined by that ending. So please like this video, comment, tell me what you thought of the shitty ending, and then please subscribe if you'd like to see more movie reviews. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.